Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson, and does dick size matter? This is something that we're going to talk about today in our deep dive video. If you are a person that likes personal growth and you like to overcome your problems and changing your narrative, this is kind of for you. I do this through the lens of being trans, but being trans is not a requirement to watching this show and this channel. So let's talk about dick size, shall we? So I think the myth, let's talk about the myth first. The myth of dick size is that women always talk about, oh yeah, like big dicks are great and having a big dick is super important in the bedroom. And I think women and men on a high level will probably say, yeah, that's kind of the myth. Bigger is better, you know? But as a trans woman, I would have to say I've had some really big dicks. I've had really big dicks. Probably okay. So this is my massage gun, and you can see kind of like the size of this thing, right? I've had a dick that's like from here to probably here. That's really big. That's like almost my whole arm, and it didn't feel very good. I don't think we were able to get it in past the tip. It was just too big. And that's kind of, I think, the core of my message here is size does matter, but not in the way that you think. I think big dicks are too big. If you do anal, which is the way that I receive sex, it's just gonna rip my hole. And that's not a nice feeling. It also, if I try to thrust with it, it's gonna feel really uncomfortable. It's gonna be stretching me, which is actually kind of sounding hot, but it's gonna be stretching me in ways that it's not gonna feel good. We would have to have very, very slow sex for a very long time. And I wouldn't enjoy that if it's super painful and it's hurting. Also, with oral, you can't really do much if it's so big that you can barely fit it into your mouth. Like, what are you gonna do? Just like massage the tip? Like, that's kind of boring. That's not a lot of fun. So I have found that really, really big dicks, from just fitting it in the hole perspective, are not very good. I would also add on to this that men with really big dicks are overconfident about their ability to perform. Now, this is a generalization. I don't think it's good for all men. But if you're a hot guy, I've found typically the hotter the guy and the bigger the dick, the less good they are in bed, because they rely on the fact that they look really good, that lots of women want to have sex with them, and because they have a big dick, they think they're able to pleasure anyone because their dick is so big. But when it comes to being a trans woman, that's not really the thing that's going to get me off. And I think for most women, it's not the thing that's going to really get them off. There's a huge mental component to it. And there's a huge, like, how do you use it? How do you move with it? How do you get in to it? Oh my God, so naughty. And so, I think big dicks look cool, but I have found that I really like dicks that are about the size of this salt grinder. Like, this is a pretty good size. If it's a little bit bigger, I'd say like here, this is probably the perfect size. I'd say this is about between 6 and 8 inches, depending on, where you land. And that, to me, is a perfect size dick. And it's not the size of my fist. It's kind of like in the center of my fist. This will stretch in a way where you feel it stretching, but it won't be tearing you up. And it'll go in, but it won't go too deep. Like, when the dick is too long, it pokes inside and it feels really kind of like you're kind of going too deep. You're pushing up against a part of my intestines that is meant to be closed, and I haven't released this. And I think this is more of a typical person that has sex. Like, I have sex right now. I'm seeing a guy. I have sex like every time I see him twice a week. We have sex for like anywhere from an hour to like 2 hours. I think we had sex for 3 hours one night. It was, oh my God, He's so good. And he has a dick like that salt or pepper shaker. And so it's been fantastic. And it's really helped me solidify my opinion on this, because the previous guy that I've seen had a much bigger dick and he kind of relied on the size and it just wasn't that good. So I think there's kind of like, when it comes to does dick size matter, it does. And I think it comes down to what's your comfort range, what's too big, what's too small. Like if you play with a dildo a lot and your dildo is getting progressively bigger and bigger, of course bigger is going to be better for you because you've really trained and stretched. But I don't do training on my own. I just kind of want to, I think it's hot to kind of grow with the person that you're having sex with, to kind of get into it more. They can feel a part of that ownership in that process and feel like they are the ones stretching you. You're tight and you, God, this is hot. And you kind of fit with them, rather than you just being like, oh, I'm super loose, I'm super big in terms of my stretchiness, and you're just not big enough. Like that just kind of sounds not so good. That doesn't sound as rewarding of an experience, and then you're just kind of dissatisfied. So there's kind of like this middle ground, and I think there's a sweet spot to really finding. I really don't like the thin dicks that are really long. Like then it just feels like someone's poking you with a needle. I hooked up with a friend's roommate, and his dick was like this big, and he's like so hot, but he's an asshole, and his dick was not, it just felt like he was poking me. I didn't have any pleasure in that. It really comes down to vibing with how your body is. That's what I found. My current partner really listens to my body and moves slow, and knows when he can start to move fast and really start to push and to pound me. And that makes a satisfying sexual experience. It makes the pleasure really nice. And giving oral to it is great because I feel like I can fit it in my mouth and we can do all sorts of things with my mouth and his dick, which is also very hot. You can go down, I can deep throat it. I can choke on it a little bit, and we can just kind of move and vibe with it, and that feels fantastic to me. So yeah, this is my dick size video. If you have questions and you'd like to know more, there it is. Please subscribe if this is new for you. Please like and tell the algorithm to share it with other people. And yeah, if you'd like to support me, you can check out my Patreon. You can join my Discord group. You can check out my book on transitioning and my meditation series. I'll see you in another episode soon. Bye.